Welcome to another episode of That's My Opinion. Today we got a lot to talk about. We're just coming out of an election. We just had the first board meeting for the current alderman. We were, luckily, we were blessed with having Rachel Jr., Dave Norman, and Harold Hunter reelected, and they were sworn into office. This will be on the video today. Also, I can't believe it happened, but Alderman Leifert's very restrictive code of conduct ordinance was voted into, I guess you would call law, by Alderman Jones, Alderman Dykemper, Alderman Leifert, and the tie was broken by the mayor. They all voted to limit the free speech rights of anybody working in the city, any elected officials in the city, all of the volunteers that volunteer on the boards, the planning and zoning committees, the park board, community betterment or convention and visitors bureau, that kind of stuff. And I was shocked at the people that didn't show up because it was no secret this ordinance was going to be presented at this board meeting, and I was just shocked that people didn't show up to express their concern. If you get a chance, read this ordinance by the admission of the city attorney at the workshop. You can go back and review the previous video. He said himself that the whole ordinance, as it was presented, was a violation of free speech rights. So, I don't know, just about the time you think you're taking a step forward and moving the city forward, they take a giant step back. So, anyway, without further ado, we'll get on with the board meeting and let you all decide for yourself.
Okay, I've got 6:30. I'm going to get this meeting of the Troy Board of Aldermen started. We will begin the meeting with the oath of office administered by our interim city clerk, Caitlin Nickmeyer, to the three elected officials. Can we have Harold Warner, David Norman, and Rachel Dooner come out front, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Take your time.
Ain't no fun getting old. Last up.
Do you solemnly swear that you possess all the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of alderman, that you will support the Constitution of the United States and state of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of Missouri affecting the cities of the fourth class, the ordinances of the city of Troy, and faithfully demean yourself in the offices as alderman?
I do.
Thank you.
We're going to call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. If you'll please join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I will take a motion. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the certification of election results presented by the county clerk.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Dooner, seconded by Alderman Jones. Any discussion? call the roll whenever you're ready.
Junior?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Horner?
Yes.
Pfeiffer?
Yes.
DeKemper?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, I will entertain a motion to elect a board president.
I'll nominate Harold Horner.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion by Alderman Jones, second by Alderman DeKemper. Any discussion? You may call the roll whenever you're ready.
Jones?
Yes.
DeKemper?
Yes.
Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Junior?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Horner?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion for the consent agenda.
Second. Motion by Norman, a second by Lyford.
Norman?
Yes.
Pfeiffer?
Yes.
DeKemper?
Yes.
Junior?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Horner?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. That gets us to citizen comments. Mr. Deere called today, said he would like to be moved to the May meeting. So we will skip over. We have Andrew Minson.
Hi, my name is Andrew Minson. I'm a living man staying here on land and soil, domiciled here. So a lot of this comes down to jurisdiction. And what you guys don't seem to understand is your jurisdiction. You're under the people's jurisdiction. Marbury versus Madison renders all your rules of decorum as unconstitutional under 18 U.S.C. 242. Under color of law, which I will go over, or you can look it up as I am talking. And I'm going to finish my statement. Do you know what your job of a city is? It's to support the people that live here. As a city, you have the ability to make your own power, own water, and distribute amongst the population, transmitting utilities, services, along with communications. Your jobs are to help us with exports and help us build a society that can be sustainable and keep it that way, to build up our society. But that's not what's happening here. Instead, we're being robbed and trafficked. These people don't have oaths or bonds. You can look this up under 5 U.S. Code 3331. It should be recorded on the public record under UCC. You can do this at the Secretary of State's office for $10 and also at a apostille. They don't have the legitimate means of holding the office they've obtained under the color of law, acting. And continuing to work with them is fraud and complacency to a crime, conspiring, informed or not. Since you all supposed to uphold the Missouri Constitution, which I doubt anybody has read recently, because if that is the case, we wouldn't be here. So I ask you, why do you continue to let your rights be violated and your money be spent fraudulently? You are fraudulently taxing out people out of their homes through a system you don't even know exists or operates. Taxes are voluntary. Show me the law. 26 U.S. Code 26
USC.
Huh?
USC.
USC. And also underneath Section 27 of the Constitution of Missouri. Powers governors to control rate and reduce expenditures, notification, General Assembly. I'm not going to continue to spill off codes. You should know them, which you don't, which you do not. All these people were involuntarily put underneath the system that they were not informed that it even existed. They weren't informed that it even existed. You also are a victim of this yourself. Did you know that a hospital, as soon as you are born, registers you as a corporate fiction and starts to tax you and trade you as chattel through a fictional banking system that was taught through all of our schools and perpetuated through indoctrination and a slavery system that puts the ignorant on a pedestal? Instead of having an intelligent conversation, they would rather argue and throw out slander and shut down voices, in this case many voices, a bunch who have since given up because of lack of accountability and fraud. How about, for instance, a compost pile that can potentially kill somebody? So for instance, because at this point you are intentionally poisoning these people, you can't say that you don't know they come to these meetings every month. Now, if this man's wife dies because of your decisions, he's doing everything that he can besides moving the pile himself and causing further harm. Because to be honest, if he had moved the public property, you guys probably would have fined him. Ignoring problems doesn't make them go away. They just create more, and eventually what happens is that bubble pops. There's many more examples. There wouldn't be a homeless population if you weren't taxing people out of their homes, fraudulently driving their property values up because of ignorance of the people who are supposed to be helping them. Using your employee enforcers, who are supposed to be police officers, to enforce unfair codes, statutes, and stuff that are complete BS, because you are not a government entity. You are a corporation. You have a Dun & Bradstreet number, 137352589, Troy, City of Troy, Inc. The other DUNS number is 138841445, City of Troy. Lincoln County's is 100349781. Where you're registered in the District of Columbia, 10 square miles that you have jurisdiction in, and only those 10 square miles. Outside of that, you are a foreign entity operating on sovereign soil. You are invaders. You have enslaved people through systems using federal notes, the MERS system, and illegal trust and bond systems held in a private UCC. My goal here is not to disassemble what's here. It's to fix it and make it better. But all this board seems to do is bicker and further the problem. Through ignorance, even though they've been given the information, they've broken the law and then found guilty. They fraudulently used your money to make decisions against your best interests. They have not maintained the city systems, and that list goes on. At this point, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. I've submitted my application as city administrator. I understand I may not be qualified for that job, but what makes the person you're going to hire qualified for that job? The fact that they can manage a city, a department, or the fact that they have managed a city, but they have not had the vested interest in the place that we have. You think you're gonna do a job, you think that you're going to do the job, or are you, sorry.
Are you getting pretty close? We're going to run out of time here.
Again, your rules of decorum are unconstitutional. And I'm almost done.
Okay, thank you. Try to wrap it up, please. Yeah, please.
Or is he just going to be, or he or she just going to be another yes man? How many people have to make these officers evict from their homes, traffic, and enforce the laws, statutes, and BS that you put forward? Do you know what the messed up part of this is? You can be personally held accountable for every action that they've committed against every single person that they've arrested, because at this point you've turned them into a polite Gestapo. that is underfunded and overwhelmed. If this continues, somebody's going to get hurt, and people already have gotten hurt. But that's on you. Now we can sit down and go through all the laws and teach you how this works or how it's supposed to work, but I'm not going to work with corrupt individuals trying to put their goals in front of other people's or the people's. You sit up there on trial because that's what this is, no matter how you look at it. By law, a jury of one's peers, the people. Here's a question. Do we uphold the full punishment of the law or extent of the law, or do we figure out and fix the problem? All it takes is a little bit of reading on some documents you should have already read, but now you say, and now you can't say you didn't get them because you asked me to stop sending them to you. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're up to introduction of bills. Bill number 1393 is ordinance, an ordinance creating section 125.045 for the municipal code of the city of Troy, establishing a code of ethics for elected and appointed officials for the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, bill number 1393 is ordinance, an ordinance creating section 125.045 for the municipal code of the city of Troy, establishing a code of ethics for elected and appointed officials for the city of Troy, Missouri. The chair will entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Thank you. We have a motion by Alderman Dooner, second by Alderman Lyford. Any discussion?
Did you get those changes made to it?
Yes.
Section 1, letter I doesn't mention the sunshine law, which it should.
If that's a change that was supposed to be made, I missed it.
You were the one that came up with wording that night that it should dictate that.
There were a lot of changes.
Yep, so I is missing that, and then section 1, letter K, it still has on there that we cannot come to the board on behalf of the organizations that we represent, and what we agreed on was that we could come, but we could not vote.
Well, it does say not vote.
Correct, but it says that we can't even, it says representation of private interest. In keeping with their role as stewards of the public interest, members of board shall not appear on behalf of the private interests of third parties before the board. It was changed to that we could not vote, but we could still come and bring them to them.
That's not necessarily my memory, but if that's what the board wants to do, I can make that change.
That was. That's exactly what he said.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve as written in a second. We're either going to have to make a motion to modify or vote on this the way it is and come back later and modify those sections. You know, we had our workshop and went through all this. If these changes were missed or if it's not the way you want it now, then we're going to first have to act on the motion that's on the floor. You can debate the overall issue, but we got to have a special motion to modify, I believe.
We'll make a motion that we modify it.
And we have a motion on the floor with a second. So any debate on that?
Well, it shouldn't be approved the way it is because it's not what we agreed on that evening.
So you can vote on it and then come back next month with a modification. You can vote no and make a motion to modify tonight and then make a motion to approve based on those changes. Is there any discussion on the motion that's on the floor? Either for or against. Anybody have anything they'd like to say?
But we need to make the right changes to what they were said.
And I can't do that unless you vote to modify it, so I think what the mayor is suggesting is you vote no. And then make.
You can withdraw the motion on the floor and make a motion to modify, or you can vote on the motion that's on the floor, and if it does not pass, then make a motion to modify. Anybody have any input on how you want to proceed?
I think we pull this back and then make the change.
I think that's a consensus.
Who made-
It looks like the consensus from shaking heads down here.
Who made the original motion?
Alderman Dennard made the motion.
No, why don't you withdraw that motion and give a second?
So the question is do you want to withdraw the motion on the floor and make a motion to modify, or you want to vote on it in its current form and then make a motion to modify?
We can vote in the current form and then make a motion to modify.
It's your motion, however you want to.
That's fine.
I agree.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve as written. Any other comments on this? How you doing over there?
Okay.
Good. All right, you can call the roll whenever you're ready.
Dennard,
No.
Lightfoot,
No.
Deekemper,
No.
Jones,
No.
Norman,
No.
Horner.
No.
Okay, motion fails.
Make a motion to modify the previous ordinance.
Okay, you want to make that motion include the specifics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there any other changes besides those two?
Well, I stopped.
I guess my motion is to change the two.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to modify the ordinance, and the specific sections were, can you help me out on that?
Section 1, the sunshine,
Section 1, letter I.
Section 1, letter I.
and section 1, letter K. Correct?
Correct.
Yes, that's what I have, okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Jones, a second by Alderman Dennard to modify two sections, and we have the wording. Anyone want to comment on those modifications that are on the floor? Okay, you can call the roll.
Jones,
Yes.
Dennard,
No.
Lightfoot,
Oh, yes.
Deekemper,
Yes.
Norman,
No.
Horner.
No.
Okay, it's a 3-3 tie on the modifications. I would vote yes for the modifications. Okay, so the modifications are approved. Is there a motion to approve with the modifications? This would be ordinance 1390, or bill number 1393 is ordinance with the modifications that were approved. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Alderman Dennard, a second by Alderman Deekemper to approve the ordinance with the modifications voted on. Any discussion?
I talked to the presidents of the planning and zoning and the historical society, and they didn't know anything about this. That's the thing. But they weren't, but they were held to the same standard.
So they all should be, and have a say in it, I think.
All under their guns, not very hard.
Okay, please, this is,
Constitution, thank you. Just let me know.
I think we need their input on that too, just because they're a part of it, same way the Parks Board. The people on the Parks Board, I'm sure Brian knows about it, but like my wife's up there, she's on the parks board, she didn't know anything about it except for what I told her. And,
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So for clarity, this body passes laws. Ordinances are your responsibility. So you can't get the input of every single person in the city on every law. You have to make a decision.
right.
You're gonna have to leave if you don't stay quiet. This is for the board's business right now.
I ain't saying that we can't, but it'd be good to have their input on some of the issues that's in here, just to have their input.
Okay.
And then we could discuss it between ourselves up here, because they have big influence on the things that we do in the city also. You know, other than the planning and zoning, you got the historical society, the parks board, and they have a say in some of the things that go on and bring it to us. We got final approval.
Okay.
So I think we need to at least talk to the president of each one of the boards,
Okay.
in my opinion. I may be wrong, but that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion on this?
We have heard from some chairs, and they are not happy. They don't want, they weren't included. They don't want an 8-page standard on volunteering them for a position that they're not getting paid for or elected for. We are already held to a higher standard because we're elected. They're not, they're volunteers. And it's not something that should have, that's the same thing I argued for the night that we initially met. They should not be included. It's hard enough to get volunteers in this time ever, and then to hold them to an 8-page decorum that I have no doubt, if you go back and watch the video, many people have probably broken already tonight.
Thank you. Anybody else on the board have an input on this motion that's on the floor? How you doing over there? Ready to call the roll?
This one's approving ordinance with modifications.
Yes. This is yeah, they passed the modifications, and this would be for the ordinance as it's said, currently says, yes. And the motion was by Dunard, and D. Kimber was the second.
Dooner,
No.
D. Kemper,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Norman,
No.
Warner,
No.
Lightford.
Yes. Okay, it's tie vote. I'll call one more name, please.
Scott,
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Thank you for all the hard work on that. Number 2, bill number 1394's ordinance. 2024 adopting ordinance, Troy Code of Ordinance. Second reading, bill number 1394's ordinance, 2024 adopting ordinance, Troy Code of Ordinances. Can I get a motion on that bill, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
This is a yearly housekeeping thing. We're just codifying all the ordinances with the state. So I have a motion by Lyford, a second by D. Kemper. Any discussion?
This is the ordinance is by the state that we have to follow.
Yes. Yes, we're adopting the code of ordinances. Any other questions, comments? And call the roll, please.
Lightford,
Yes.
D. Kemper,
Yes.
Dooner,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Warner,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Bless you. Bill number 1395 is ordinance. An ordinance authorizing execution of vehicle lease agreement for 2 2024 Chevy Tahoes for the police department. Second reading. Bill number 1395 is ordinance. An ordinance authorizing the execution of vehicle lease for 2 2024 Chevy Tahoes for the police department. The chair will entertain a motion on that bill. So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Alderman Lyford, a second by Jones. Any discussion? May call the roll, please.
Lyford,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
Junior,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Horner.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. That brings us to old business. Last month, we read this twice, and then it was tabled. It's the one we just voted on. This is Bill number 1391. We already have both readings in the books, so I will take a motion on this ordinance now.
Can you reread that?
It's already been read twice. It is.
Here now.
I'm sorry?
Here now. So we can all hear it.
I can't because after the second reading, we had a motion. So that's why it's already been in the books as two readings. So this is the ordinance that was tabled and then modified and that was passed just a few minutes ago. So can I get a motion on 1391, please?
Make that motion. Oops.
I'll second.
Okay, I'm going to say we have a motion by Jones, second by Dooner.
So this one we vote no on because the other one passed, correct?
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah, we already had both readings on the floor when we tabled it, so this is the original version. Any questions on this one? Whenever you're ready.
Jones,
No.
Junior,
No.
Deacon,
No.
Lyford,
No.
Horner,
No.
Norman.
No.
Motion fails. Thank you. Bill 1392 is ordinance. An ordinance amending section 115.215 of chapter 115. Whoa, hold on a second. This was also read twice last month. I apologize. Okay, so I take a motion to approve bill number 1392.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Norman, second by Dooner. Any questions, comments on this ordinance as written?
This is what was fixed at the workshop, correct?
It was unchanged, yes.
Okay.
We discussed it at the workshop, but there were no changes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Call the roll, please.
Norman,
Yes.
Junior,
Yes.
Lyford,
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Horner.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. New business, I believe we're at item E. Award bid and authorize mayor to sign agreement with Mid-River Asphalt Incorporated as the sole bidder in the amount of $36,034 for asphalt crack seal, seal coat, and stripe in Fairgrounds Park.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Norman,
I'll second.
second by Horner. Any questions?
Is that the parking lot there?
Yes.
It's the three main large parking lots.
Are we still doing the guardrail?
That's this first.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks.
Any other comments, questions on this one?
When we gotta start that.
I hope to have it done before June.
Okay.
I need to get
Same.
their schedule and my schedule to kind of line up perfectly.
All right.
But yeah, I put on the bid before June. I think June 1st is what I put in the bid. So.
Thank you.
But that's all weather dependent.
Right.
Okay, I believe we had a motion by Norman, a second by Horner, is that true?
Yes.
You get that right? No other comments, you can call the roll.
Norman,
Yes.
Horner,
Yes.
Lyford,
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
Junior,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries, thank you. Item F, set the date for fiscal year 2025 budget workshop. Treasurer Flynn.
I'm looking at May dates, and my first preference is May 14th. That's a Tuesday.
I'm good.
6:30.
And that won't work for me.
Won't work, okay? Earlier or later? I mean,
15 is fine.
I'm out of town on the 15th.
16?
I'm out of town the rest of the week at GFOA, so.
How about the 14th?
14th was original.
Oh, I thought you said the 8th, sorry.
13th?
So 21st?
Yeah, that's okay.
Day after the Alderman meeting.
Yeah.
I know it's 2 in a row. Are we good looking?
Are you out of town on the 13th?
That's park board.
Assuming that we have a
Would that be a problem for you, Ryan?
I mean,
Assuming we have enough to have. a
assuming that we have, right?
meeting.
Don't we have, it's at 5:30,
Yeah, it's early, yeah.
so it'd really be up to you if you want to be
We
here
can
all
be-
day.
Just not a Monday.
That's fine with me.
Yes, it's fine.
I mean, if it's fine with you, it's fine with me. Okay. May 13th at 6:30?
Did everybody do the 13th at 6:30?
Yep.
He's checking here.
The 13th at 6:30?
Yes,
That'll work.
Okay. Thank you very much.
May 13th. Thank you all. Item G, discuss and approve special event request from Green Relief for a farmer's market. It's in your book there. You have multiple dates. You have a map. I would question whether or not it's a traffic issue, if the chief, or if you're aware of this function is. They're proposing parking across the street as well as parking in that lot. I don't know what's on Lincoln Drive. Are you,
Well, they approached us and wanted an officer to get people back and forth. I said, we're not taking that responsibility. They need a shuttle if that's what they want to do, because I can't stay with the guy there on Lincoln Drive escorting people back and forth.
no, absolutely not. You know, what you have in your book is what we have. Whether or not they even have permission to use that lot across the street, we don't know.
Because it's a private lot, I think.
Even the lot they're in is not theirs, you know, where they're building it. So basically, it would be up to them to secure all that, you know, the permission from the property owners. You all would just approve whether you think it's a good idea to allow it to go on if they.
That's in the same location as when we had the food truck thing a couple years ago.
Food truck frenzy.
Yeah, it all across.
It was nutty.
It's in that parking lot,
Across
yes.
the streets.
Yeah.
You can drive, it's kind of, it's sketchy, especially now, you got more movement. And what day of the week were they planning on having? It's like Friday or Saturday, or?
Looks like they're Saturdays. There's multiple dates in here. You'll be approving 4/20, 5/18, 6/8.
9:30 to 3.
Those are Saturday dates, I think.
It's just that parking and crossing over Lincoln Drive is just, you know, it's dangerous. It's bad enough I think on Lincoln Drive. When you have people crossing, they have another place to park.
What was that date?
Actually, there's 4/20, 5/18, and 6/8. They're asking for all three dates to be approved. It could run into real issues if you have pedestrians crossing Lincoln Drive. Again, they didn't give us any details. What you have here is what whether they have permission to use that lot, we don't know.
Just the lot that they're at.
Well, either one, really. I mean, we don't know, but they're basically, all you can do is approve whether you think it's a good idea to allow them to have the event. Whether they have permission or not is between them and the property owners. So.
That location doesn't work.
Okay.
And there's nobody here either, I guess, talking on this.
I don't believe there's any representative here from Green Relief. Okay.
Could we,
Do we know how many, we don't know how many food trucks they're bringing in. It just said food trucks. Or how many vendors. I was gonna say, can we get more information?
yeah, could we table this and maybe get them to come in next month?
I'm not opposed to bringing people to town and having an event, but
We've had food trucks in that lot.
yeah.
It's really,
So under the special event, I think they can have more than two. but 2 at one location is our ordinance.
Yeah, but can we potentially table it and get more information from him?
I can add, I think Tanya had spoken to him before. I don't know how much headway she made.
Right. They don't seem to have a whole lot. We question a lot of this, but actually their next date is next Saturday, so table until next month won't, 420 is this coming Saturday, I guess. So.
Did they do it on 3/23 then?
Yes, they did.
Oh, they had the event?
They did.
And how did that go?
I don't know.
I would say I got no complaints on it.
I never heard.
It was not,
Publicized?
well, they were supposed to get permission and they did not, and we told them we couldn't. They turned this in on the 18th, which is the day of our last board meeting. And we said it's too late to get it on the agenda, but they proceeded the following Saturday with the event, so.
Jeff, do you know if you guys had a bunch of complaints at all on that day?
Nothing's come across my desk. Major, have you heard any problem? No, we haven't.
Okay, so I would be more apt to that if it already happened once and nobody heard anything about it, then why not let them do it again?
I don't know how much preparation they did or advertising on the last
I
one.
wonder how much traffic came in that day. There's a lot of questions that they have.
It wasn't publicized very well.
Well, like I said, they only got this kind of put together at the last minute. It was on the 18th when they dropped this off, so.
Yeah, if we give them permission to do it, it turns into a problem, we can take it away. Correct?
No, this would be approving all the dates. That's why they're asking for 3 dates in a row here, so once it's approved, it would be approved. Can we get a motion?
Chief, what do you think about the traffic there?
It's not the safest street in the world to cross at any given time. I mean, there's a lot of traffic on the street. I just think we'd be taking on a big responsibility, trying to station somebody down and doing the traffic.
I just think it's the wrong location.
I do too, but I think I mentioned to somebody that maybe there should be some type of shuttle, they can get people across their state.
Well, they have other dates. I think your book must have bumped me up a little bit there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, all right, thank you. So you could make a motion and vote on the total and then have them come back next month if they want, the last 2 dates approved with more information. You can just say no on all of them, or you can vote yes. So, hey, actually, probably before we do any more discussing, let's get a motion for approval on the floor, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Horner, a second by Norman. Sounds like the concern is traffic, pedestrian safety. Anybody else have concerns or comments on this?
Well, next month they wouldn't be here in time for the 18 because our meeting's on 5/20, so.
That is true, yep. They would miss the next meeting unless...
We had a special meeting or something, and
You could do a first Monday of May, I suppose. We have that date reserved, so. Okay, so the motion on the floor would be to approve 4/25/18 and 6/8. Any other comments on that motion that's on the floor? Any discussion?
If we give this to them and it turns out to be a problem, what's our legal? I mean, if it turns out to be a big safety problem, can we legally revoke this?
Wouldn't you have to set parameters for what a problem would be?
Well, if they're,
Well, I understand
stop
that.
traffic and stuff like that, that's
Yeah.
a gimme,
I think if you have reservations, you would probably want to err on the side of caution.
Right.
Well, the next one's in 5 days, so they're not going to have planning for it either.
Right.
I would say it's gonna end up being just like March's, where there wasn't an issue. It's the May and June ones that could be potentially the issues.
But we're not voting on just one, is that correct? We're voting on all three?
Yes, their request was for all 3 days.
No, I'm looking at the next two.
Yes.
Well, they had it, but they didn't when they approved.
So what if, I mean, if we voted to
If you wanted to vote it down, you could make a motion.
table it and have them come in with some representation and do a special meeting or something, can we do that? Or, I mean, just so they could have something in May and June? I mean, I think everybody's in agreement that traffic is the biggest issue, but they've done it once and they'll probably do it Saturday without our consent. Well, this right here is just kind of giving us a heads up that we're going to do it.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to get bigger, and probably the one Saturday might be
A big one.
I'm afraid, possibly, because of the date.
Right.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Horner,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Jones,
No.
Dooner,
Yes.
DeKemper,
No.
Lightfoot.
No. Okay, we have a tie vote. I'm going to vote no on the question as it stands. Motion fails. If the board want to make, if you want to make some adjustments or try to reach out to them, I'll leave that up to you all. So, item H, discuss and approve special event request for Harperford Christian Church requesting the use of fireworks. I'm going to let Parks Director Howell kind of fill in some gaps here for
Do we have anybody from the church here?
Yes.
Okay. Could you give, half of this is okay. A lot of churches do aquatic center rentals, turn it into like an event. The fireworks is what stuck out to me. We never had fireworks in town, like something like this. The date's fine. Both dates, I think, are okay as far as I'm concerned. But if you guys want to give a little more info.
Sure. So we're looking at June 29th. So we're looking to have a party in the park June 29th. We'll have the swimming pool and we'll be doing food, and we'd like to do fireworks. We have a professional company that we have credit with already that they're good to go. So we're just asking for permission for that day.
So where are we going to fire the fireworks?
It'd be at Fairgrounds Park.
It'd be right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna use the pool for the event, but do the fireworks in the park?
Yes.
Question mark?
Yes.
You're a licensed firework?
Yes.
So, like Ryan said, a lot of churches use the pool and do events like that, but our ordinance says that fireworks are only legal on the 4th of July. So you're going to have to, that's basically what you're approving here, is a request for the fireworks on a date other than the 4th of July, and whatever implications that might have. So, you can make the motion to approve the event minus the fireworks, or you can make the motion to approve the entire event and then decide on how you want to handle that. So,
I'll make the motion to approve the event since you have a professional company coming in.
okay, we have a motion by Alderman Dooner to approve the event with fireworks on June 29th. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a second by Alderman Norman. Any discussion on this?
Is it kind of open to the public? I mean, you'll see that you have the...
Oh, absolutely. That's why we're doing this. We
Yeah.
want to meet everybody in Troy. Just show them who we are.
Gotcha.
And your professional company is stated where?
It's in this.
His name is Richard Shabbat.
Thank you.
He's a professional licensed fireworks of himself and his company. They provide liability insurance as well as the church does also.
And you have that information?
I don't have any, I've spoken to them via email just about this much information. I know they're
Did we
licensed.
verify the liability coverage as well?
I don't know if I got the
Should be like
insurance.
any other special event.
Yeah.
No, we should have documents, right?
I mean, I can get it for sure. I don't think I have it yet.
And you guys are gonna be responsible for all cleanup, right?
Absolutely, but the way I understand, we're paying extra so that we'll get some of the cleanup as well.
I think they mean about the fireworks.
Oh, the fireworks, absolutely.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
the pool portion is fine.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, fireworks will be
I think
cleaned
they're
up.
taking the trash from the fireworks, the boxes and the.
It is early as well. I mean, I don't know how soon you need this approval, but June 29th, we have another, you know, if you're not ready, if you want more information, you could do that. We can still do it in the May meeting, and I think we still have plenty of time to get things set up. So, you know, once you allow fireworks in the city limits on a day other than the 4th of July, you're kind of opening a box. It would be my concern.
Understand.
You know, so something to consider.
But there's a motion on the
But
floor.
if we approve, we'll have the documentation and verification and insurance.
I'll make sure I get it. I mean, you can approve it based on that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions or concerns? Comment, anything? Okay, you want to call the roll, please?
Gonna make a motion first, and I'll make
I
a motion.
have a motion by Alderman Dooner and a second
think
by
I did.
Alderman Norman. You were
I
the
was gonna say, you were the second, David.
Yeah, I have it here, yep. Okay.
Studer,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Corner,
Yes.
Lippert,
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. Okay, motion carries, thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Discuss and approve sports associations selling concessions at their events in the parks. Ryan Howe.
Me again. So yearly, we bid out the concession sales for the park. It's been getting harder and harder to get bids. Used to be a lot of charitable groups who do it as a fundraiser to get, operate the concession stand in the park. No bids. I think it's time that we just kind of let the sports associations sell their concessions, their refreshments, their chips, their sodas. They can operate out of the concession stand when it's their seasons, work together, they can kind of handle their own, but like we do with events, any sales in the park need to be approved by you guys, so I figured I'd ask and let the sports associations kind of take care of themselves instead of fishing it out to a third party.
Okay, can I get a motion on item I, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have one other question though. Do you have any, I guess, so when do you have the baseball season coming up, so they're associated, is that how that's gonna work?
Baseball, soccer during soccer, football, I know football wanted to do it a few times last year
Is
when
that
they,
every game, I guess?
every game, every night, like football, they do practices every night.
Oh,
They wanted,
practices
yeah,
too then?
they wanted to provide water and chips and stuff like that.
And that's that one down there by the duck pond?
Yep.
Okay, what about the other one? Is it the one everybody breaks into?
Yeah, that one's a little rough.
So
It's-
they don't
it's
do nothing
been
out
used
that
in-
one no more?
No.
Okay,
And this will be for the new fields too.
I got you. All right, thanks.
Okay, I have a motion by Norman and a second by Jones. Any other discussion, questions on this item? Call the roll.
Norman,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Corner,
Yes.
Lippert,
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
Studer.
I don't think I can vote, correct?
Yeah, because you're.
Yeah.
Abstain.
Okay, very good. Motion carries. 5 yeses, 1 abstention. Okay, next up is, what am I at here? J, discuss and approve Troy Youth Soccer Association inviting a maximum of 2 food trucks to game days. Ryan Howell.
Me again. Because they've moved their soccer association out to new fields, there's no concessions outlet. Kind of to go along with this permitting through the county, the thought is to invite food trucks to actually have food instead of like the normal chips, water, soda, that kind of thing. Going along with how we do for special events in the park, I asked them to fill out an event request, ask for the 2 food trucks max per event date, and ask for your guys' approval.
Can I make a motion?
Yes, please.
I'll second.
My only question would be, as you have it, does it take them only to that location, or are they able to, then does this carry over to their fall season?
This would be for that location, the way they filled it
Is
out.
it, okay. I was asking if it would carry over to your fall season, so then you wouldn't have to apply again. But,
Well, and the dates listed would only go through.
okay, got it.
Which, it's fine, I mean, you can do another application.
Yeah.
So this is at the Crooked Creek Park. We have a motion by Alderman Dooner, second by Norman, to allow a maximum of 2 food trucks. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments on this item? Okay, call the roll.
Dooner?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Warner?
Warner, call.
Yes.
Lightfoot?
Yes.
DeKemper?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item K, discuss and approve water connection for 484 Lynn's Mill Road. This gentleman was in last month, asked if he was in the right spot. They have the GM parking lot out there. They want 1 hydrant, wash cars, do a few things like that. Brian, Bud, and Jeff were out, looked at the water line goes right through there. We've allowed several people out in that same location to tap on, so I'll take a motion to approve item K, please.
What's the usage, do we know? Any idea? A lot of cars out there, don't there?
There could be, I'm not, yeah, we don't have any idea. They talk like it would be 1 hydrant, so they're going to be limited in how much they can pump through there. But
Well, would that be tapped as a commercial or?
There is asking for a 3/4 inch, Mr. Resident. Yeah, water tap's only based on the size of the meter, not residential.
Well, I know, we got the certain sizing in it.
yeah, so they're asking for a residential tap, so yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, that's what they want. I don't anticipate it's going to be a high volume. But
So I'll make the motion. I'll second.
okay, we have a motion by Alderman Jones, and a second by Alderman Norman to approve. Any other questions on this one? Whenever you're ready.
Jones?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Warner?
Yes.
Lightfoot?
Yes.
DeKemper?
Yes.
Dooner?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. I will take a motion to go into closed session for legal and personnel, please.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
I have a motion by Dooner and a second by DeKemper. Call the roll.
Dooner?
Yes.
DeKemper?
Yes.
Lightfoot?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Warner?
Yes.
Very good, thank you.